Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Killer Collab Podcast. My name is Tone Deaf from Florida, Toady D. As always, to my first left, Chris Lato from Reaper Films.
Howdy.
Hi, Chris. How are you? Good?
I'm good.
Yeah, good. Okay. And over there, stretching, doing his Pilates and doing whatever he does, Mr. Joe Davison.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Are you okay?
No, man, I'm sore. My whole body's broken. I'm pretty sure I have arthritis in every joint.
Welcome
know.
to
I actually
old
wear
age.
arthritis cream right now on my because I have like a tennis elbow.
Your masturbating hand?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean, no.
You live alone in a studio.
It's true, and I have a projected screen.
With
You
a
ever watch
giant
porn on a?
porn screen.
I was gonna say, you ever watch porn on a
No,
giant
but I'm
projected
never
screen?
sitting in your office again now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure I'm safe in here, really.
I know,
now,
right?
I know. I don't do anything in here, except for that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Actually, in there, it's a little different in the sound booth.
Gross.
I wasn't alone.
Oh, all right.
And today's special guest, Jeremy Sumrall.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Emphasis on special, right?
I mean, we can. You want me to put quotations on it for you? I usually do that for Joe Davison, but I can share the wealth.
Isn't that special?
Archer special.
That's an old school reference.
SNL,
That's
baby.
behind
Church
my
lady.
age.
What? Oh, is it? I thought you were doing Church Lady.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's behind my age. I'm like
Oh, right. Yeah.
old fart. I'm farting dust at this point.
That's
Middle age, man.
Do you remember that Church Lady?
No.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
It was.
Oh my God.
David
Dana Carvey.
Carvey.
Dana Carvey's like the best character.
Oh!
the best one.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody talks about Garth because of Wayne's World and everything, but for me, it all started with Church Lady. Because that was
Yeah.
just.
They tried to turn that into a movie.
Was it Satan?
I mean, I knew a lot of ladies like that growing up in a small, very religious town that I still live in. So I definitely knew that and identified with that. That's why.
Dana
just struck
Carvey
me
was
so
always
hilarious.
Dana Carvey was always like a weird character.
Yeah, he was like
type.
the weird people.
He was, yeah. I don't know.
Isn't that
Oh, he
totally
was the
enough for
weird one on the
turtle
show?
Yeah. It was funny.
Dana Carvey was the weird one on SNL?
One of.
All right.
Who was your favorite SNL character? Honestly,
Character
That's
or
an
actor?
character?
actor.
Oh, I mean, there's so many of them.
Oh.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like, but
Dan
a lot of
Aykroyd.
Belushi was hilarious.
Yeah.
Farley was hilarious.
Yeah.
I liked Eddie
Farley.
Murphy. Eddie Murphy
Eddie
was.
Murphy was great. I mean, there's
Yeah.
too many.
Yeah.
I don't think Eddie Murphy was actually a cast member. He was a host.
No, he was a cast member.
No, he was a cast
Was he?
member.
Yeah.
That's where he started.
I mean, the buckwheat
Yeah,
bits that
you
he
do
did,
Buckwheat,
Mr. Robinson's
James
Neighborhood,
Brown's Hot Tub Party,
Gumby.
Yo.
Yeah, James Brown, the hot tub,
Oh yeah.
whatever it was called.
Mr. Robinson's
I'll get in the
Neighborhood.
hot tub.
Yeah.
Mr.
Oh.
Robinson's
It's a hell
Neighborhood
of a
was
day in
hilarious.
the neighborhood.
It was like the ghetto Mr. Rogers.
Oh yeah.
What about like the
So
early
funny.
or late 80s, early 90s with like Joe Piscopo?
Oh,
and-
I didn't like.
That's
Well,
when
there was
Eddie
a-
Murphy was on.
That's what. Yeah. That's what he
There was
was.
a classic
Piscopo.
bit
Joe
with Eddie
Piscopo.
Murphy. There's a
Yeah,
classic
Joe
bit with Eddie
Piscopo
Murphy
with-
and Joe Piscopo
Yeah.
doing Ebony and Ivory
Oh,
as
yeah.
Stevie Wonder and Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was just like knocked me on my ass funny,
Yeah.
It's not funny
That's
anymore.
like, there's like 40
No.
years of SNL.
Yeah, there
No,
is.
because now
Oh,
you got
so many.
jackasses like Pete Davidson.
Oh, my
coming in and
God.
acts like he's like the funniest fucking thing ever to fucking walk the planet. And
Right.
you're like,
The
you're
best
not-
thing that
you're not
ever
even up
that
there
he
with,
ever
like-
did was Ariana Grande. That's
I know. It's like, how about the ass this guy pulls? I'm like, this guy. He looks like he's like,
a scarecrow.
Half
Because
dead.
he's a shit talking,
yeah,
He's
know.
got that heroin chic look.
Yeah,
to
he
him.
looks like he just did heroin.
yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He's got the
I don't think-
circles
I got
around his eyes.
drugs.
Yeah.
Well, he was fucking Kate Beckinsale for her. Right?
Yeah,
For a
He
while.
was?
Yeah.
Well, now he's
Yes.
who's he with now? Fucking some hot bitch.
I don't
But Kate
remember.
Beckinsale's like a thin little stick, dude.
dude, she's
Yeah.
so.
Dude,
I
I
don't
love
think she's hot.
that woman.
I don't think
What?
she's hot.
She was,
Kate
she was the
Beckinsale?
very
Yeah.
first like professional photo op I ever did was Kate Beckinsale
Yeah.
because of, I'd met her at some convention.
Because
It
of
was-
Underworld?
it was no, it was God. It might have been one of the Underworld, but one of the later ones.
Well, here's why I say this. I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. And some of her posts are just absurd. And the like one yesterday she posted, she was like in this white, real skinny, tight thing. It's just no figure. It's just no breasts. You know what I mean? She's like
Yeah.
she's got a pretty face, but I want some fucking meat, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
want some-
I'm an equal opportunity kind of lover.
Is
I
that
am
wrong
too.
for me to say that? Am I sexist because I say that? Like, don't skinny shame.
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
everyone-
we all got our preferences.
Yeah, I was just
right?
saying, everyone has their thing.
Yeah.
Right? Me, I just like women.
Me too. I
Me
mean, I
too.
would never. If she was like, "Hey Joe, let's go back to my hotel." Yeah, I'd already be done and have to like clean up and then go back with her. But yeah, I'm just saying.
But yeah, she's definitely very tiny. 'Cause doing the photo op, this was probably when I was 100 pounds heavier. So just standing next to her, I thought I was going to snap her in half just by
Yeah.
putting my arm around her.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, I was just like, she's so just, ugh.
Yeah.
She smelled so good too.
Oh, yeah. Like
flowers.
Like flowers.
She's a hottie.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Jeremy, now tell our guests what they would know you from and what you are working on or have worked on or will be working on and what are promoting.
Yeah, so I've been an independent filmmaker since 2007. As we were saying before we went on,
Yep.
Joe and I have known each other for a long time, or we
Long time.
met, I guess,
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Well, I guess you could say we've
Um,
known each other. We've never done anything together
Yet
that we can talk
Yet.
about.
That's Well,
I don't want to know
There
what
was that
happened in
night.
that bedroom.
Austin.
Right. That
Is-
one
is-
no,
night
but-
in Austin.
Is that going to be in the
Oh.
same like movie theater as A Night with Paris? Is that
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep. And the night with
Was
people.
it one night in Paris?
I mean,
It was
One
like
night
30
in
seconds.
I think it's
in
one night in
Paris.
China. Is closer to what we were talking about. One night in China.
Yeah.
Like you guys are wrestling fans, right?
Yeah,
Like
no.
China. and-
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
that's basically what mine looks like. Is her? Never mind. I can't
well.
say any of what I wanted to say,
I
but
know.
you know what I'm saying.
Well, unfortunately,
Yeah, we don't want to get flagged already.
Yeah.
didn't she pass away?
China?
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah.
She's done.
Yeah,
Where
a
the
long
fuck
time
have
ago.
I been?
I don't know.
This was a few
A
years
long
ago
time
too.
ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I always wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately,
You're
it's
not gonna get.
you know
your chance.
wrestling. It's hard to be a wrestling fan, especially as old as I am, because like they all die so young for the most part.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's because they're
drug
taking
addiction and-
steroids and the hearts give out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the painkillers and all
Yeah.
that fun stuff.
That's what I need
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
Painkillers?
we got dark really quick.
Yeah.
That's,
And on
that's
that
how I
note-
like to roll.
You
No,
were
but
saying,
so-
Jared. Sorry.
Yeah, independent filmmaker. Started out as an actor, actually, in the movie Sweatshop, the smasher film, as Michael Gingold refers to it as. And then fell in love with the process and started writing, started directing, made a couple of features, music videos, short films. My last feature, Pickaxe, was released on Amazon in 2019. Tiffany Shepis is in it. Michael Baldwin from Phantasm, Sal from the Howard Stern Show.
Oh, wow.
And that actually is one of my favorite stories, is actually getting name dropped on Stern, because I grew up, being a huge Howard Stern fan,
Same.
even though
Yeah, who
Best.
didn't?
it never really
Same,
aired
yeah.
on any of the radio stations here. But then once, I would get the bootleg tapes, the CDs, all that stuff, and see his pay-per-view specials. So getting to work with Sal from the Howard Stern Show, which came about because of his name is blanking, the guy who did Girls Gone Dead. God, I wish I could remember his name. I apologize.
Stan?
Yeah,
Maybe
it's Michael Hoffman, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's it. It's Hoffman.
Yeah, he hooked me up with Sal, and yeah, when Sal got done filming his part, he went back and was on the air like a couple days later. And Howard asked him, where were you? And he said, I was down in Texas filming this slasher film with this guy Jeremy Sumrall, and my heart just like fell out of my ass, because I'm like, holy shit, I've just been mentioned on like the largest radio show on the planet. Right?
Oh yeah. That's a great.
But still, I have to pick up my dog's shit, so like it keeps me humble. But
Dude,
I'm finally
I
in
got 4 kids. You
pre-production.
kidding me? There's no
I'm-
celebrityism in my house.
Yeah, I'm finally in pre-production now on another feature. Been kind of toiling away doing shorts and music videos and stuff, and learning cinematography and lighting, because I had never done any of that stuff before. On the features and stuff that I'd done in the past, I always had a DP. I always had a fairly large crew, and this time I'm really kind of going like Robert Rodriguez El Mariachi style, doing a lot of the jobs myself. And it's actually technically a Florida film. Sean Donahue from Gator Blade Films came up with the story. He wrote it with his friend Andrew Allen, and
Sean
yeah,
knows other people.
yeah, I know, right? But Sean had put a thing out on Facebook that he was looking for someone who had no brains and giant balls, and I said, well, that's me. And he said that he wanted to make an Andy Sedaris meets Russ Meyer type exploitation action, weird, sleazy film. And of course, that's right in my wheelhouse. And a lot of the projects that I was working on writing at the time were really kind of stalling out. And of course, this all happened last year when COVID had everything locked down. So I said, well, I could either sit and write on these features that I've been trying to get off the ground for a while, or here's a ready-made project and I can kind of hit the ground running. And the minute everything opens back up, I can start filming. And that was the original plan. And instead, I fucked up my knee this time last year. It was literally about a year ago. I fucked up my knee when I was filming some stunt training. And I said, you know what? I am not going to be able to make this action-packed movie, filming it myself, shooting it myself, if I don't get healthy. So that was all it took. And I started doing the DDP yoga program and dropped 40 pounds in no time.
Oh, wow.
And have just been consistently hitting the mat every single day since, I think today was day 324 or something like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I heard that DDP yoga is intense.
So
Dude,
hitting
it
the
is.
mat used to be wrestling. Now it's
Yeah.
yoga.
Yeah, now it's yoga. But
Diamond Dallas Page.
Quite a
baby.
difference.
Diamond Dallas
I
Page.
should say we are not supposed to refer to it as
More
yoga.
like diamond
It's
down,
DDP
facing
yoga.
down dog.
Yeah. But man, I got to tell you, the shit
Downward
works.
facing
I mean, this is actually a 3X shirt that
What
I'm
does
wearing right
DDP
now. This
stand
is
for?
Diamond Dallas
Diamond Dallas Page,
Wrestler.
Um,
Wrestler.
the wrestler, former WCW, WWE
DDP yoga.
heavyweight
Not in
champion.
the lifestyle I'm in.
Right.
Yeah,
That stands for dick, pussy.
dick, pussy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing the program ever since. I cut soda out of my life. Cut.
It's a
most
lot like
added
Duck Duck
sugars.
Goose. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep it
He can't get out of his own head.
I can't.
No. Well, and who would want to be, right?
Right,
It's
a
such
bunch of
it's a
girls sit
warm,
around
comfortable
naked, and
place.
I run around tapping them all in the head.
With what?
Dick, me, dick, and then one of them has to chase me, and I sit in their spot, and they all tackle me.
And we're flagged.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
stop it! Most of the girls are like, this game is really short. It's like, what? I mean, but it's wide.
Oh, but yeah. So you said you were on which day for DDP yoga?
I think it's 324, something like that. I mean,
That's
it's
nuts.
literally like 324 or something consecutive days. Like I've hit the mat for at least 5-10 minutes. Usually, it's been at this point closer to an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours that I hit the mat and just really get stretched out before I really kind of wake up. I do that. Used to, I would wake up 7:30, 8 o'clock and roll out of bed and immediately eat breakfast. And it was just shit, really,
Yeah.
just
You mean
microwave
donuts?
crap. Yeah, donuts, bagels, that whole nine. And once I started, and it literally was like an instant, like a light switch kind of deal. I cut out sodas. I mean, I'll have one every now and then, but it's very, very rare. I used to drink upwards of a 12-pack of Coke a day. And now I have one maybe every few weeks. And in fact, now I'm on day 38 out of 75 hard. So I absolutely have had no soda whatsoever in the last 38 days. And I still have like.
How do you
30
keep
something
track
to
of
go.
all these numbers?
All right.
You know what? Having cut and paste on my phone,
Yeah.
my clipboard really helps. Because I'm really horrible with numbers. In particular, I'm like, I forget what the actual technical term is, but it's basically like number dyslexia. I will, write down 9-6 and I mean 69, right? So,
Yeah,
like,
that gets confusing.
the position 96 is where after you're done
back to
having
back.
sex, you roll over and you shit in each other's hair.
Oh,
So,
wow, that's
You guys do that too?
yeah. I
Holy
thought that was
Oh,
just
totally.
me.
Well, at my age, like you can't really trust a part. So.
Well, you can't help it.
Yeah.
You fucking
It just releases everything.
yeah. You got a good hour session in with your lady, you're gonna shit at some point.
An hour.
Yeah.
Amateur.
Well, I'm just saying that's when you gotta stop and take a shit.
Yeah.
Like, babe, I haven't pumped for 45 minutes straight.
Why
I'm done.
you got to stop? Why you got to stop?
Yeah. Babe, come with me to the bathroom.
Chili dogs.
Like, give me a Blumpkin.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was curious about that. I've never seen a Blumpkin porn. Have you guys?
I've never looked for
No.
one, so no.
No.
I don't look for that kind of porn.
No.
And it should not come up in my feed.
No.
It might now.
Yeah.
Well, no, it is
there's
now that
Facebook
we're talking
on it.
about it.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things where it's funnier when you're discussing it rather than the actual execution of it.
True,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know how. Like, I'm not trying to kink shame at all, but I don't get how anybody could be turned on
I know,
while,
right?
Yeah.
taking a dump.
Well, the point
But,
is,
you
is
know.
that the girl's not turned on. She's being paid for the service.
No,
Because that's
yeah.
the only way that would happen. Because my wife would be like, "You want me to do what? When you're what? No."
Did
shut
y'all
up.
see that
we have a whole
documentary?
bed. What are you talking about?
Did y'all see that documentary on the guy that created what the hell's the McAfee virus
No.
software?
Yeah, that dude's out. He's dead now, right?
Nutcase. Yeah,
He's a billionaire.
he had gazillions of dollars, and he had like this private island, and he would bring girls, like he'd find Asian girls, and he would bring them to his island, and he had a hammock, and the girls would, with a hole in it, and the girls would shit through the hole, and he would be under it, and it was just so disgusting.
What else are you gonna do when you have $1 billion?
I know.
You're
it's
like,
like,
well,
you're
let's
just
see.
bored.
I can
and
go
you just
anywhere on the
try it.
planet. I can fuck anybody I want.
Literally.
Yeah,
Literally. So what do I want to do now? I'm gonna have Asian girls flown into my island and they can shit on me.
right.
Well, that's the
The
whole.
guy was just
that's
ate up.
the whole plot behind Salo, right? Like, it's just a rich people who have like fuck you money. They're just like, let's just make people do a lot of degrading
What is
shit.
fuck you money like, man?
I want to know.
Because I'd be doing
I don't
other
know.
things like.
I have please fuck me money. So
Yeah, I don't even have that. I have like please fuck me Pop Tarts. Like this is what I have.
What kind of Pop Tarts?
S'mores.
Oh, I'm there.
Yeah, I
know.
That's probably why so many rich people end up getting into hardcore drugs, because they're bored.
No, man.
well,
I mean,
that's
you can
also-
only
if-
travel so much.
I'd be like fucking
Buy
Elon Musk
stuff,
and
like-
Bezos and those dumb
Well,
fucks.
didn't Eddie Murphy get caught with a male prostitute one day? Like, because he got caught and Tiger Woods too. He got caught with a prostitute or two.
Gives a shit.
All right.
about
I'm
any
just
of
saying,
that.
like with the
Yeah, who cares?
Prostitute
is like
No, I don't
Low
care.
end
I'm
vanilla.
just
Right.
I'm saying I think they're getting prostitutes to do
Yeah.
shit that no one else would do for
we do
them.
more. Never mind. Never mind. I can't get into my. Anyways, my point is, if I had that kind of money, I'd be building jetpacks and rocket boots and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be like getting fucking islands and having Asian shit on me. I'd be like, yo,
Yeah, I want.
let's get an island, have the Asians come in and build me a jetpack so I can Iron Man my ass around New York.
That's what I want. I want an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's what I would do.
I don't want to be completely contained in a.
So you want to be Tony Stark,
More like Batman.
Batman? Okay.
I want to be Tony Stark.
Yeah. 'Cause if you had that kind of money, why wouldn't you be doing shit like that?
Yeah.
Like, I got $1 billion. I'm going to build a bulletproof suit where I can jump around New York and fight crime.
well, look at Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk now. They want to go to space.
Yeah.
That exactly. That's the next
step.
step outside of like getting Superman powers.
See, I don't think I ever
But
want
here's
to go
the
to
thing:
space.
they could
Yeah.
probably end world hunger by themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
they'd
most of
rather
the time
float
it's
in
over.
space for what, 30 seconds?
Who
And
cares?
fly back down there.
Why do you?
Like,
so
ridiculous.
what? It's not their responsibility to take care
I
of the
know
planet.
it's not. But
They
still.
worked
it's
hard
not.
to get their money. Go to space, dude.
Well,
space.
people
Did
work
they-
hard to
I was
get
good.
them.
Did they work?
But
hard?
they invented well, they had to have something to get people in the building to pay them first.
I mean, I
People
think
just don't come work
Bezos-
for free,
I mean,
right?
obviously, Amazon started in his garage selling books, and it
Yeah, after he got
expanded.
$250,000 from his parents.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, he's not exactly a self-made man.
yeah, well, his dad. I'm working hard so my kids don't have
exactly.
to.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If I get
No,
to the
that's
point I can
and
give
I
my
totally
daughter
get that.
Yeah.
$1 million, I'm gonna give her $1 million. And then when someone's like,
Sure.
She didn't work for that. Bullshit. She didn't. I did, so she didn't have to.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where
No, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, no, I get
but
that.
if I had that kind of money, I probably wouldn't be going to space, but I would be building shit for me to do on Earth, where I could be like, yo, I gotta get from California to New York in 20 minutes. Guess what I built? Teleporter. Book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I
Like,
agree.
yeah.
But
I
when
would
the
also-
majority of his employees are living below the poverty line, like
Yeah,
there's some fucked
agreed.
up shit going on, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But then you would like some sort of. I would like try to like mass produce a teleporter ring in every city so people could use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, you can
Well,
teleport
Elon Musk did that with the
this week. Teleporting
the
from
tunnel.
Tampa to New York. It's only $1.99.
that hyper tunnel that that Elon Musk is making is basically trying to solve like commuters from like problems going from inside the city and outside, like or back and forth to Vegas in like 15 minutes. Like,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
here's my issue with Musk.
Which one?
My own. I love it. Is that he's trying to build a network of
Trying to build
floating
everything.
satellites that surround the planet.
And give everyone internet.
Well, that's not it.
Well, that's
I
part
think
of
then
it.
he's just going to EMP the planet, and then he's going to control it. So at some point,
Just don't get chips in your head.
okay. So here's what here's where I
Well, if
think
you
we're
have the
going.
vaccine, you're chipped already, right?
Yeah,
Damn it! No.
I saw a funny video about a military guy who was like, "They're not putting chips in the vaccine, guys." He's like, "I was in the Afghan desert for like 3 years. They couldn't even get walkie-talkies to work." He's like, "They certainly don't have technology to put
Yeah.
microchips in
Yeah,
a
exactly.
liquid."
Yeah.
Like,
Plus, you carry a tracking device
Right.
in your pocket
Yes.
every single day.
Not
Any
only a tracking
fucking
device,
phone.
not only a tracking device, but it hears everything, sees
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
And the thing is,
like
like
you can
anybody,
fake something now.
anybody in
And-
the world can be tracked, except for Brian Laundrie, of course.
Yeah.
no, dog caught him.
I don't think he caught him yet, has
Yeah,
he?
he caught him. I read it this morning.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, well, I haven't checked
Snoop
that.
Dogg or whoever caught him.
I thought Dog quit like 2 days ago.
No, I just read an article.
Oh,
Dog the Bounty Hunter catches Lowry or whatever. His
What?
name is. Yeah.
nice.
I don't think so.
Should have just shot him.
I'm telling you, I just read it.
I don't know.
Anyways,
We're gonna fact check that.
but my I don't know where we were now. I had a whole point to make. About,
We were talking about Elon Musk and
Oh,
his
I
satellites
just don't
and all that
trust
shit.
him. And if
Yeah.
you follow, there's this guy on TikTok who says he's from the future. Do you watch him?
No.
And he's kind of like a modern day Nostradamus.
Okay.
He predicted that in the next 5 years, 9 superheroes will arise. The first one will get killed because people won't understand who he is, what he is.
Uh-huh.
They're going to kill him. But then the next 8 will rise up. So here's what I'm thinking in my brain. All right, so if we're really going to have superheroes rise from out of nothingness or born into superhero and get powered, how the fuck that works, then you got guys like Elon Musk, clearly supervillains.
Oh yeah,
We're
he's
going to
Lex
need
Luthor.
superheroes to fight supervillains.
Sure wouldn't be Bezos, because I'm pretty sure Bezos would be the supervillain.
They all are.
Like Lex Luthor.
They all
He
are.
looks like a
they
Lex
all-
Luthor to
They
me.
all look like Lex
Yeah.
Luthor.
Yeah.
Elon Musk looks like a robot.
Well, he looks like he'd be the one to make the super suits. That's what he
I
looks
don't
like.
know. I
today.
think Elon
Like
Musk
he would be like,
is-
you want a jetpack? You get a jetpack.
Oh, and
Yeah.
now he's a Texan too.
That's what.
and his,
Yeehaw, y'all.
his wife and his child X1498 or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
They're all crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I think he would be the one to make this like the super suits, because he is that autism that is Asperger's, but it just makes him uncomfortable in social situations. But I think Bill Gates looks more like a evil
Oh yeah.
than
I think
anyone.
they're all.
Bill Gates looks like the guy from Phantasm, though.
Yeah.
Tall man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm extremely jealous that they have a lot of money and they can just have islands of women.
Yeah.
But outside of that, they're weird.
Well, I mean, you got to be weird to make money. I mean, well, yeah, I think so.
Well,
well,
then
look
why
at all
aren't
the
any of
rich
us
people.
rich?
That's a different kind of. We're creepy. No. We like creeper things.
Yeah,
Horror
I don't
movies.
know, but if I ever had that kind of money, man, I'd be making jetpacks and rocket boots and ray guns and teleporters and that kind of
Yeah.
shit. I'd hire a company to figure out how to
how do you
time travel.
How do you know that they're not working on that?
True, they may be, but I
Yeah.
don't think so. I feel like they put all their money into like dick shuttles.
I know, right? Like, why did they make it look like that?
Yeah, it
Well,
reminds me of.
Because he had
Like of
fucking
all the
money.
designs.
It reminds me of Death to
Oh yeah,
Smoochie.
it's fuck you money.
It's a rocket
It's
ship.
Dr. Evil's rocket ship.
Yeah,
Remember?
Look at that huge.
nuts. Get your
Are you
nuts.
seeing this?
Oh man. No, but Elon Musk is so like diversified. Like he's got so much money in so many different things. He's doing that he's trying to make a whole network service free to everybody. He's trying to do satellites to do that.
Why?
And honestly, we've been needing that anyway. It's only been in the
It
last
should be
couple of weeks
free.
that I've
Wi-Fi
actually had
should be
decent
free.
fucking internet where I am.
I still don't have decent internet. I can't play Call of Duty while my children are watching TV. It just can't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this
Thanks,
is why
Spectrum.
I go
Well,
on
we know my
podcasts.
issue with Spectrum.
Yeah.
This is
Hey,
why I'm
that's
always
what-
advocating for
Spectrum.
physical media and shit, because streaming is becoming so prevalent, and yet
Yeah.
up until literally 2 weeks ago, I didn't have decent enough internet to stream
Wow.
anything without having a major fucking data cap. You know, and that's, I mean, we're talking 2021 here, you know.
Jeremy,
and
that's
like I was saying
interesting you
earlier,
say that. We just put a clause in our contract for a distribution deal for a sorority. We're not doing VOD.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're not doing streaming.
Wow.
Yeah, it's too easy for
Nice.
someone to snag it and
Yep.
and get it out there on YouTube.
Well,
We're
There's
doing
no money in it
we're doing
anyways.
theater and
Dude.
DVDs only.
Well, they can snag
Dude,
it
I
off a
support the
DVD.
fuck out of that. Yeah.
They can, but it's going to take them longer.
There's no money.
I mean,
in
it's got to
VOD
come
anyways.
out. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they just gotta buy one and then
Right.
they just done.
Yeah, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It'll take a little longer because we'll be the theater run and then we'll do the DVDs.
Yeah.
A while
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, the piracy thing is hurting all of us,
Oh yeah.
you know, across the fucking board. I mean, look at Sean Burkett, who did Don't Fuck in the Woods. I mean, Don't Fuck in the Woods was the most popular title on IMDb for ages.
I never even heard of
And
it.
when seriously, dude,
Yeah,
Don't
I
Fuck in the
never
Woods
heard
is
of it
awesome.
either.
I never heard of
I've
it.
heard
Dude,
it.
so Don't
It's
Fuck in
not
the
much to see,
Woods
it's good.
actually, when it was originally released, he sold enough physical copies to more than make his money back. And he didn't sell, I mean, he didn't make it
What
for
was his
like
budget?
$6,000 or something. What's that?
Okay. Yeah, $6,000.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
But it was downloaded illegally 2 million times or something.
Wow.
Some ridiculously fucking huge number. And if those guys had just paid 50 cents a piece, Sean would
Yeah.
have no
And
money
that's the
problems
fucking
for the rest of
problem,
his life.
man. Is these people don't want to pay that money. They want to download that shit for free.
Exactly.
Here's something I've never done: downloaded anything for free. That even includes MP3s.
Yeah. Right.
I don't do it.
Nice.
I never did it. Even back in the day when like BitTorrent was around and
Yeah.
LimeWire. All those
Oh,
LimeWire was it?
Yeah. Well,
I
there's
Yeah,
never
LimeWire.
Napster.
Never did that shit, man. Because I was like, no, you're gonna get caught doing this shit, and you're gonna go to fucking
Yeah.
jail or something. I was like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But I think
I-
the
dude,
the
I
bigger
actually-
problem over
I had
piracy.
roommates. I had roommates who had used my internet years ago. They downloaded Machete
Oh,
and Justified Season 2, and I actually got my internet service revoked because Fox sent a cease and desist letter because my fucking asshole roommates had downloaded Machete and Justified Season 2. And I'm like, well,
First of all, those are
it,
justified. Is like, why would you do that?
yeah, I know. It's like we had fucking cable. They could just watch it anytime they want, you know, but whatever. But yeah, like Fox can do that shit, but yet nobody else seems to be able to handle that, you know. Like clearly they were able to track that shit because it originated from my house. Now I had to call my internet company and tell them, like, look, it was not me, it was my roommates. And they restored my internet like that. But meanwhile, you've got these people who think they're entitled to download, you know, squillions of movies and shit. And, you know, a company like Disney can handle that sort of shit. They can handle taking that kind of loss. But us indie guys, we can't.
Yeah.
We cannot survive that way, you know? I mean, our budgets are getting smaller and smaller and smaller all the time. You know, it's the only industry where the budgets hit a certain level and they just stayed that way even as technology got better, where you can make them cheaper and cheaper, and we cannot grow beyond that, and we can't put our product out and get a return on it because, like you said, the minute you put it on streaming or anything, like, it's out there for free and no one wants to pay for
I'm
it.
going to play devil's advocate, and I don't think piracy is the biggest issue with indie filmmaking. I think the biggest issue is when you put it on streaming platforms, which everybody wants to watch it on streaming. You can't make any money on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Amazon doesn't pay shit. Hulu doesn't pay shit. Netflix doesn't pay shit. They don't pay anything. Like Amazon, I have a movie on Amazon. I literally get $1 every quarter.
No.
It's crazy. Like, you don't make
Well,
any money. And
I think
Spotify,
it's kind of a
well, that's the
circular-
same thing.
It's a kind of a circular argument, though, because no one wants to pay for the physical media either. You know, like if you
Right.
if you
But they're
sell a Blu-ray
they're still
for
paying
$30.
for streaming services. People pay for Prime.
Not necessarily,
People pay for
because
Netflix.
I've had people come to me and say, "Hey, where can I watch your film? Like, can I see your films on YouTube?" And I'm like, "Well, no, like you can buy it directly from me. You know, I'm sure someone has them up on YouTube, and they want to go because they're not paying for YouTube.
Right.
You know, like you don't have to. I don't believe you have to pay a membership fee to watch something on Tubi.
No,
either.
I'm talking about legit pay streaming sites like Amazon and Hulu and Netflix and Tubi's a free service.
SAG and
but they don't
IATSE,
pay out. They don't pay
No.
out.
SAG and IATSE were talking about going on strike because of the same reason. Because Hulu and Netflix, they don't pay the same rates for cast and crew as say Fox does, because Fox is a cable channel.
Yeah.
And Netflix is considered a streaming channel that doesn't need advertising. So their defense is, well, we don't have advertisers. We just have paid memberships.
Right.
Yeah.
So IATSE and SAG right now are in the middle of fighting with these streaming services for better rates because they don't pay their people shit. That being said, Millie Bobby Brown makes $300,000 an episode on Stranger Things. So
Yeah.
you tell me who's
Which in
not
the
getting
grand
paid
scheme,
correctly.
that's really not a lot though. For a grand scheme, I mean, you got to think the Seinfeld cast was making $1 million an episode.
Same thing with Big
back
Bang.
in the day.
Big
So
Bang.
that was in the
Friends.
That was in the late '80s and early
Yeah.
'90s. So I mean, she's obviously the biggest star of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And to only make that much is kind of shitty.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
She's like 12.
I mean, it's great.
Okay.
Obviously,
I think she's 18 now.
I don't know.
yeah, she's
You
older
would
now,
know.
but it's still. I mean, I think she should be making more money than that. I
Yeah.
mean, she's
Well, yeah,
like-
because you
I
got to
don't
look
know.
at how
like
much
people know
money
who
they're
she
bringing
is.
in.
Like, she's a,
Yeah.
Like, because look at the merchandising for Stranger Things. You
Yeah,
got to wonder
same.
what kind of cut she
I made
gets.
1%
exactly.
of what she made.
yeah,
An
look at all the
episode.
damn.
And I had to run and get killed by demi-dogs.
Yeah.
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 Well,
1%, I think. She makes 300,000. I made 3,000. That's a 1%.
yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I made for a week.
I got to say though, I literally screamed at my TV when I saw you pop up. I'm
Thank
like,
you.
holy shit, I know that guy.
Yeah. Thank you. I'd love to do something
we all
else
did.
with it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't know him at that
I
time.
love
was
it.
like, that
I
guy's
love it when I
dead.
see buddies pop up in projects, especially if I didn't
Yeah.
know that they were working on them. I'm like I've got friends that I worked with on Pickaxe who they're like out in LA now, and they'll pop up on commercials and shit, like nationwide commercials. I'm like, ha, there's Ben, ha, there's
Yeah.
Will.
I love
You know?
watching fellow actors and people become
Ben
successful.
actually,
that's awesome.
Ben played Jimmy Kimmel for a segment on the late show or whatever with Jimmy Kimmel. Like the week he moved to LA, I think he
Wow.
actually played a double for Jimmy Kimmel when they had people off the street come in and do a meet and greet with Jimmy, but it was my friend Ben instead.
Nice.
And
Wow.
that was like the coolest fucking moment. I'm like, that guy is in my slasher film, and he's on fucking Jimmy Kimmel right now. You know?
I'm always
And
like,
he's going to be in Hellfire as well. So.
I'm always
That's
like,
sweet.
where did all the actors go that I used to use?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that one's at Herders.
They all got
that
famous.
one's at not any of mine.
No,
No.
actually,
No.
a couple of people. One of the girls.
I'm the one in all of those films who done become something.
Right. One of the main girls in Crazy Lake went on. She's in P Valley, the Stars show about the strip
Right.
club in the Bayou. She's one main character. And
Does that
then,
stand for Pussy Valley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about a strip club. And then
Nice.
Marco Del Vecchio, who was in Crazy Lake, he was in the Camila Cabello Havana video right at the beginning of the soap
I love
opera.
Camila
I
Cabello.
don't know what any of that is. You just
They
said.
did the soap opera scene at the
Copacabana?
beginning.
No, the singer, Camila Cabello.
Havana,
I don't know who that is.
She's hot. That's
Yeah.
all you need to know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
guess.
You know that.
And he had a running gig on the Steve Harvey show. Like, he's done all kinds of shit
Yeah,
since
that's
then.
great.
So it's cool. Like, I love
Yeah.
seeing people that I've worked with. I'm like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, Camila Cabello dated MGK. She's with that now.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Well, now he's with Megan Fox. But how's that even fucking work?
I don't
Well,
know.
she's like a silicone everything now. Like she was
Megan
hot.
Fox.
Yeah, she was hot when
She's
she was
also.
in Transformers. But
I think
Dude, that
she's
new movie
legally
she was in?
retarded.
That new movie she was in is
I
fucking badass.
still haven't seen it.
It's so
The
good.
vampire movie.
No, she was in Till
Jennifer's
Death.
Body?
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Have you seen that yet, Jeremy? Till Death.
Nope.
So fucking good. It's one of the
Nah,
best movies
I
I've
don't-
seen this year.
I'm not attracted to her, man.
Not
Yeah,
now.
I'm not really
now. Like
attracted.
back in Transformers.
Yeah,
I was.
Transformers
even then,
too.
I was just like,
Pretty
this
hot.
bitch.
Like
is
then she got her nose done, her lips done, her cheeks
Meat.
done. Like I was
Joe
like,
likes
oh.
meat.
Oh.
Well, it's not even
Yeah.
just that. You gotta have a personality. I like
Yeah,
girls
she's
who like
very,
that fun and just are like down to earth. Not whoever the fuck she is, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
she's-
I feel
Like
like
I liked her in This Is 40, but that's because actually I don't know why I liked her in This Is 40. I think she was just kind of sleazy and hot in that. But anything else I've seen her
I
in, I've
feel
been
like if
whatever.
you sat with her in a room for like 5 minutes
It would be mind numbing.
quietly, and then was like, "So Roman's at Aqueducts," she would just be like, "What?" You know what I mean? And I just want someone who can like, you know,
Yeah.
or be like, "Who's your favorite superhero?" You know, hopefully
Yeah.
she'd say something like Moon Knight, but she's not going to say that.
Oh
Right.
shit!
Yeah.
She's going to
No.
be like, "I like Spider Guy." You know,
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I've never seen her in. Well, I've seen her a couple interviews, but
I saw an interview where she called Steven Spielberg a Nazi, and that's why she doesn't work on
Wow.
Transformers anymore.
was it him?
No, it wasn't
Wow.
Spielberg. It was
Yeah, no, she called Spielberg a Nazi. It was on David Letterman.
It was who directed fucking Transformers?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
But she's
Yeah.
talking about Steven Spielberg because she was working with Spielberg on another project.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Really, I mean that's a bold.
Yeah. She's like, Spielberg's like a
insult.
Nazi.
Because her and Michael Bay.
She didn't even
Had it
know
out.
what she was
yeah,
saying.
but then she got invited back to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Michael Bay, and then I think
Well,
I guess that healed up a little
yeah,
bit.
she probably came back
Yeah.
and been like, "I'm sorry,
Sure.
Mike."
Yeah, as
Blah,
rightfully
blah.
she should.
Yeah. Who would?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Joe, you're fired. Mike.
That's how
Cup
you
the
get
balls.
jobs.
Cup the balls.
Yeah. You'd be like, "Get off my dog."
Okay, Weinstein. Anyway,
Oh.
He's got a flat waffle dick, apparently.
interesting. I
Yeah.
couldn't even begin to imagine.
Isn't it funny how when all these pederasts and sexual predators get caught, they're always crippled now? They're just walking around like, oh, I'm so. Bill Cosby did it. Weinstein, he's got a cane now.
No, fucking
They're trying to
Cosby.
play victim.
Cosby got released, and he
Tried
come
to-
walking out and did his little fucking like.
But when he was going into jail, he looked like he was all
Old,
like,
decrepit.
pathetic and
Yeah.
decrepit.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to play the sympathy thing, and it's not working. You fucking assholes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's done. He's gonna live the rest of his life in his little fucking chateau wherever he lives.
Now John Gruden's done.
Oh yeah.
John Gruden. Who's
Yeah.
that?
He, the old coach of the Raiders.
Yeah, what happened there?
He sent some
He sent a bunch of
It was
emails.
transphobic and homophobic comments,
Yeah.
I believe.
racist.
Yeah, I didn't actually
He did
read
racist
it.
stuff.
Like back in 2011.
He was sending them to. What
Yeah.
happened was he sent them to the general manager of the Washington Redskins, and Bruce Allen used to be Gruden's GM when they were with the Bucks, and then now Gruden's in LA or Vegas now, and Bruce Allen was with the Redskins, and they're doing a investigation of the Redskins for misconduct, and they were going through all the emails and everything, and they found these emails from Gruden that he
Yeah, it was like
sent.
an unrelated thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Had
they're
nothing
from
to
how
do-
long ago?
2011.
10 years.
Well, they were
Yeah,
from
that
2011
shit should not be admissible.
on
Sorry,
up. I mean,
sorry. I'm not homophobic or transphobic at all. But
But at the same time, if you
I've-
put it in fucking writing, you should be held
that's the
accountable.
thing. I'm like,
All right.
why would you put it in print and
Yeah.
send
Yeah.
it somewhere where you know it could be used
Especially
against
because
you at a
it
later
was an
time?
official thing. It was like
Yeah.
an
well,
internal
it's only become a
thing.
thing in the last year and a half.
Well, but look at what James Gunn did when he got fired off Disney, when he got fired off Marvel, and then he went to DC, and then he was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
we'll let you back." And but it was a big thing with James Gunn when he got
yeah,
canceled,
and
then
that
he
shit
came
was
back.
like 12 years old.
yeah,
And I think
Yeah.
it's
It
you
was on
shouldn't be able to.
Twitter.
I don't think everything has a statute of limitations. That should also include tweets from 12 years ago.
but I think
I don't think
Because
that you should
they're
necessarily
out of
be.
context.
but I think
I
they
don't think
found
that you should
something.
necessarily be punished for saying the thing. I think you should be held accountable for saying the thing. If you're given the chance to apologize and actually prove that you're a changed person,
Yeah.
then I believe rehabilitation is possible, right? I don't think you should just be like, oh, we're going to cancel that guy because he said
Yeah.
something. that
Well,
was... Because look, if you dug up stuff from 20 years ago in my past or 10 years ago in my past, like I said some really wrong shit, but I know that I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
So if I put it out there and people find it, absolutely they should be able to call me on it, but I should be able to at least defend myself on it.
Yeah, well, I think he got caught doing something in 2018 too. I think there's another.
Yeah,
email.
they're from 2011 all the way up to 2018.
Yeah.
He sent all kinds
So
of
it was definitely habitual.
But
Like,
here's the thing is like I don't know if you've ever been around football coaches, but they're
Yeah,
the
yeah.
nastiest, dirtiest mouth people you've ever
yeah.
met in your
Oh, yeah.
life.
Like
And
high school coaches when I was in
I
high
mean,
school were
come on.
fucking horrible.
Oh,
I
they're
wasn't even a
awful.
football player.
Yeah.
They were fucking awful. I had a coach pull a starter pistol on a kid. Got his ass fired for it, but as far as I know, there were never any charges.
My
pressed.
football coach was also our math teacher.
My
Yeah.
football coach was my history teacher.
Yeah.
I had
My
like,
baseball teacher was my math teacher.
And then he'd bring that shit to the classroom.
Oh,
Be like, you didn't run a mile yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in history class right now or math. So teach me
Right.
math. You can teach me running.
But
Yeah.
but like I said, James Gunn got forgiven for it. I don't know what But with the Gruden
Gruden's
thing,
done, dude. Here's the thing: everybody's all about, oh, we gotta change.
but he made so
you
much
know.
money though. Like I don't like.
Yeah,
especially
but think
last
about all the
season and
money
this
he's
season.
gonna lose.
Yeah, well, he had $100
He
million
had an $80
contract.
million contract, and
Yeah.
that's gone. His passion gone, like
Yeah.
all for because he can't keep his stupid mouth shut. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Well,
putting
you
and
don't
putting
know,
it in
man.
print.
That shit, but it's different then. It was different. It'd be like my dad writing a letter to somebody from 1950, and then they're like, "He's 69 now," and he said, "I don't know, something stupid."
Well,
my
it's
dad
like
would
us being
say.
punished for doing teenager shit.
Yeah.
Like basically, like I used to do coke and smoke weed. Like, so you're gonna punish me now for it?
Yeah, now you got arrested for it.
Like I don't do it now, but I did it then.
We heard you had a party in 1985
Yeah.
where you did cocaine. Come
Yeah.
with us, sir.
Like I don't like
Yeah.
like what is the statute? What is the
Thing
limitation?
It's
Now-
not. The problem is that there's like a whole culture of people who find everything unfair.
Right, everything's offensive.
Everything's offensive.
Yeah.
And they want answers, and someone needs to be held accountable because
Mhm.
God's not working anymore.
Yeah.
They can't hold God
Yeah.
accountable for everything that happens to them, so it's going to be Bob or Janice or Karen or fucking whoever.
Well, I think it's that if you're still doing that behavior or did it or like haven't proven that you have changed or like evolved or anything, I think that's the issue. But because like if I get punished for something back in '85, like why the hell would I like? Why would you punish me now? Do I still do that? No.
Yeah.
Have I
No.
done it in forever?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like it's not like
And that's the thing. Like, you have to be able to prove that you have learned something.
And
from
couldn't
it, right?
just the defense from any of them be like, well, I've made my grievances, or I've come to my I've apologized and confessed my sins to my preacher.
he did a whole press
and
conference.
I God has forgiven me.
Mhm.
So society can't say shit. If
Yeah.
this is the kind
Right.
of society you live in where that is the thing, and then you say God forgave me, then they should have you can't do shit.
See, I think
Right.
because after the press conference, I think like he did everything. He's like, I apologize for that behavior at the time. Like it was definitely a mistake. Like it's not like I
They
don't.
still counseled him.
Yeah, it was the day after he resigned. The day after.
They probably gave him a nice little pension though.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
But the problem is,
well, he's
like,
in the
what
union, so
about
he has to get a pension.
What about all these players? Did any players come to his side and say,
Yes.
"Listen,
Yeah.
I fucking
It
love
was
it."
kind of split, man. Like,
Yeah,
there was a lot of players that were like
Yeah.
pissed off at him, and then other players were kind of supportive.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: I don't think he's a racist. I mean, how can you be a head football coach in the NFL and be a racist? Like,
Yeah,
that's just
Doesn't make
ridiculous.
sense.
It's
Doesn't make
impossible.
sense.
And then he said some nasty shit.
Yeah, because all your
and-
star players are white.
Exactly.
Well, his quarterback was Carr. But okay.
But I don't know. He
That's
just
a
said
joke
some
to everyone
stupid
out
shit.
there.
Yeah, I got you. He
Yeah.
just said
Well,
some
and that's the
I'll
thing.
be
You're going to be
canceled
canceled
tomorrow.
now. Yeah,
I'll
and
be
that's I
canceled
agree. I
tomorrow.
think it's ridiculous. I think you should be able to apologize and move past. As long as you show that you have changed. But at the same time, I'm not the type of person. Like, I can't tell somebody when it's good enough, like when their apology is good enough to say that they're forgiven, right?
Right.
So I just tend to not engage in that
Yeah.
type of shit.
I just
Yeah,
saw
you know?
a really interesting article. It was about Dave Chappelle's new show,
Oh boy,
and it said
people are all over.
Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle hasn't been canceled for making white jokes, so let that sink in. And that was
Yeah.
from a black pastor.
But Dave Chappelle makes fun of everybody.
So does
He makes
yeah.
fun
He
of
made
himself.
fun of
Agreed.
himself on the show.
Yeah.
Like, it was just.
Well, I'm just saying it's interesting.
It's
There's
comedy.
like
Yeah.
You know?
the issue is that it's not. The point of the article was the fact that it's not black people canceling white actors and comedians for being racist. It's white people canceling white people because they don't want to look racist.
Yeah.
It's a really weird dynamic we have
is a
right
weird
now in
dynamic.
society. It's almost like you can't even talk to anyone.
We need to promote the change the channel thing. We just change the channel.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, hey,
Change the channel.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
that's literally should be it. Like,
Yeah.
My whole philosophy is, if we're going to make it a better world, we need to focus on our own backyard, right?
yeah,
Like if as long as we can focus on our little bubble and make changes within our bubble, it can spiral outward.
yes,
Too many people are so quick to be like, well, that guy said something racist or homophobic or transphobic or whatever 20 years ago, and that's just it. Like their career is over, right? And it's like, well, no. Like, have you looked at the last 20 years of their career and seen if they've had that arc? Like, we're storytellers, right? Like we write characters that have arcs. Like hopefully the character they were in the beginning of the film is not the character they are at the end of the film. Something has changed them on a very deep level. Like we as humans deserve to have that growth, that arc. And I don't think that it's fair for anyone in society to just say, you know what, that guy's canceled just because of some dumb shit they've done.
A good example is Kathy Griffin.
yeah,
When Trump became president, she was very outspoken about how crazy he was. She got canceled immediately. He almost threw her in federal prison because of it. Then, like a year later, people are like, yeah, Trump is weird. He's crazy. He's got to get us all killed. What's happening? Oh, my God. But Kathy Griffin still suffered all of that shit.
Yeah.
She got blackballed out of Hollywood. Well, now she's back in Hollywood again. But that was some bullshit, and all she did was make a joke.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's the first person who is the example of counterculture.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not it.
No,
Cancel culture.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like on the last season of The Bachelor, The Bachelor was black, and the girl that ended up getting chosen at the very end, it had come out that she was at a plantation party like 6 years ago when she was in college. I guess the sorority had a party at a plantation, and they dressed all like, in dresses like the plantation owners' wives and stuff. And they tried to cancel her, like saying, "Oh, she's a racist," and all. I'm like,
they did
she's
that
on a show
too.
trying to marry a black man. Like, how is she racist? Like that made no sense.
I mean,
to
that's
me.
like, all right. Well, then we might as well like cancel like Gone with the Wind.
But they have.
Might as well put a stop to.
They canceled that. They canceled Dukes of Hazzard.
They canceled history. I mean, they're canceling history.
I know Columbus. Come on, he's my hero.
Taking down statues and shit. Like it's
that I don't mind. Sometimes you need an overall facelift to move forward in life.
Personally, I think
keep the same dumbass shit going. Robert E. Lee, for example, that's the wrong thing to teach.
Well, yeah, you're actually
like. Do you feel like the Constitution of the United States of America is outdated?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it needs to be
like
updated.
It's from 1776.
Well, there's been amendments.
Actually, it's built off the Mayflower Compact, which was written on the Mayflower where they're on their way over here. I wrote a whole.
We're following.
I know this whole thing.
We're following.
So they wrote a whole agreement called the Mayflower Compact before they even wrote the Constitution of the United States. And the same guys who wrote the Mayflower Compact wrote the Constitution of the United States, with the exception of a few people who've been added on years later. Because when we arrived, I didn't arrive. When they arrived, they were running from religious persecution from England, but they had come by way of Denmark. I don't know if anyone even understands that, like, the Pilgrims didn't come from England. They came from fucking Denmark. They had been in Denmark for like 10 years because the philanthropists out of Europe paid all these people who were being persecuted, these artists and mathematicians and shit, to leave, and they went to Denmark. And that's where they lived. And then in Denmark, they got all their money to get their ships to go to find another place to live. Not find America, but find a fucking place to live. And they just happened to crash up at fucking Plymouth. They actually didn't crash at Plymouth Rock. They they found another island that was just like 5 miles off the coast. And that's where they were for a long time. Then they got to Plymouth Rock, which is where they built their foundation.
Yeah.
But that's all. The Constitution is based on all that bullshit. It's not even that was the tyranny they were suffering back then. We have a whole new tyranny that we need to adjust our rights and practices to.
So what would happen if they said we're gonna redo the Constitution?
Well, they wouldn't. They would do it piece by piece. They would get amendments done.
Why we have amendments?
They would just either change something. Like they would say,
I think the first 4 are really good. The right to freedom of speech. I think anybody should be able to say whatever the fuck they want to say to anybody whenever they want to say it.
Yep.
And get canceled for it.
No.
Well, it says you're free to say what you want, but you're not free of the
you're not free of the consequences.
The consequences.
Right.
Yeah. So
the right to bear arms, because without weapons as a society, you leave yourself vulnerable not only to foreign aggressors but domestic ones as well, and that even says it in the thing, in the Constitution.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'm all for I've got guns, so I'm saying I don't think everyone should be able to there has to be
I think the rules of getting one needs to be changed.
Yes.
Because I also think that the criminal levels of things that we persecute people for, let's say 1981, you went to jail for 10 years for marijuana.
Right? Yeah.
What?
Well, that's bullshit.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, pedophiles get 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, you had sex with an 8-year-old? That's okay. That's okay. Oh, you have an ounce of weed on you? Life.
That was the whole war on drugs for was it Reagan? I don't know. Nixon.
Yeah. Which is anyways, he's an asshole too.
Well, yeah. But like I said, the whole bear arms, I think it needs to be more strict. I think definitely no majority of our shootings are by people
Chicago.
Well, Chicago, but most of their guns they get from other states because they're so easy to get, from Chicago. So they bring them over from other states and legally, and
then they sell them. But the thing is, criminals are going to get them, whether they get them legally or not. They're going to get them.
Well, and
there's really nothing you can do about it,
Yeah. But I think that we definitely need more strict background checks.
I think if you live in Chicago,
mental
you
checks.
Expect to be a gangster.
Well, no, I know a lot of people in Chicago.
Me too. They're all gangsters.
And another big problem is you hear about a guy killing another person and they get arrested and this guy's had 18 felonies on his record. And it's why is he even out of jail with 18 felonies?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
He probably bought the gun legally too.
We got hit by a guy 2 months ago, drunk driver. It was his second DUI.
Yeah.
How are you allowed to have a second one?
Yeah.
I think your first one, your license is gone. You don't have the capacity to understand that you can't drink and drive the first time.
Right.
Out. Because you're going to do it again. Yeah. Because you know what happens?
Yeah.
You fucking do it again.
Yeah.
I have children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't cut the paper. They get scissors, they're going to cut the paper again. That's what happens. Take the scissors away.
Same thing with crayons on the wall.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do that.
Magic eraser.
Again, that comes back to what I was saying about worrying about your own backyard.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I thought you meant me personally because I was like, it's a
No.
Mow your yard.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, mow your goddamn lawn.
I have a guy who mows my yard because my 15-year-old won't do it and I don't either.
Well, that's what the 15-year-old's for.
Yeah. Well, dude, if you do my 15-year-old, he can't do anything. I love him, but he's like the square peg trying to get in the round hole.
Yeah.
Just his whole mentality is he can't mow the yard.
That was one of my first jobs when I was a kid. I was an actual landscaper.
I tried to teach him. I was like, this is how you mow. Straight lines, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Then I was like, it's too hot, and I'm over 40. I'm not mowing the yard anymore.
Dude, I'm the same way, man. I did that shit when I was a kid.
I can barely put my fucking shoes on.
I don't have a lawn, but if
I
I ever
wear
get a lawn,
Velcro shoes so I don't have to tie them.
Yeah.
You're wearing fucking sandals. You're barefoot.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Tony doesn't allow shoes.
Yeah, we're not supposed to wear shoes.
We should probably get back to Jeremy.
Yeah.
He
forget. Well, he was running
wearing
late.
shoes. I'm wearing shoes.
No, also notice
late.
I don't have a hoodie on and I'm wearing pants.
I know. I was like,
yeah.
It's 9,000 degrees outside and
He's
he's wearing a hoodie.
Not
and
anymore.
Now it's a little cooler.
You guys beat me into the ground now. I've been
It's a little cooling off a little bit. And
He's been hoodie shamed.
Yeah. Well, the zipper on my Jason hoodie broke, if you must know.
Oh, that sucks.
So I can't wear it anymore.
Oh, I haven't even seen you. So that concert I was supposed to go to, they canceled the whole event 30 minutes before the gates opened.
Wow.
because the grounds were too wet. I'm like, have you ever been to a rock concert?
This is the
before?
problem with society
Like,
these
what?
days.
Mud
It's
is why
guys
you
like
canceled
us. It's guys like us who are running shit now who are just so fucking tired that we don't want to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yo, can we cancel this yet?" No, man.
Yes.
It's stopped raining. Yeah, but the ground's wet. Good idea. Cancel it. I'm gonna go eat a hot pocket.
Unbelievable.
Meanwhile, 9 Inch Nails at Woodstock '94 was like an infamous mud
I know, right?
Yeah.
Remember they used to do what was that show 98 Rock used to put on?
Lollapalooza.
No, it was
Meet the Rockers.
I like the Vans tour.
damn, it was they used to have it out in a big field out in
Yeah,
Zephyr Hills.
I remember a girl wanted me to go,
and
with
it
her
was
to one of
like
those.
mud fest every
Oh, yeah, I could do
year.
that.
Like it was crazy.
See, I don't like mud.
And
I can't do that.
and Warped Tour, they were always in mud. Like, and that's why they canceled the show.
Why?
Luckily, because they said the grounds were too soft and they were afraid people were going to get hurt. I'm like, it's a fucking rock
fuck
concert. People are going to be moshing.
I was at a
and
Pantera concert and I saw a guy get a
Crowd
tattoo
diving.
ripped off. His tattoo got ripped off.
I know. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Luckily,
I got kicked
we
in the
weren't
face
going.
and had my glasses broken at a fucking pit with a strapping young lad years ago. This really, really hot chick with like these gigantic Doc Martens was crowd surfing and just
Was she
fall off. I
throwing
think
at
she
you?
did it on purpose.
Because that was
She
me.
fucking like just
I-
nailed me right in the face.
I was at a White Zombie concert and this cute little girl come diving out and she's coming right at me. And I remember I grabbed her by her waist and I was like, wee! And she went ass over elbows and hit like 6 people. And I turned around, I was like, sorry. And they're all like, yeah! And guys bleeding and shit. Girls
Oh,
on the ground.
It's so much adrenaline. I miss
Yeah.
mosh pits. Those were great.
Oh, did
So
you?
needless to
I don't
say,
miss
I
the
didn't-
mosh pits.
I do.
Yeah.
I got so much
Fun, dude. I
aggression
love
out of those.
Because I felt like that was like a very like barbaric gladiator way of enjoying the music
Oh,
that I
it
like to
is.
listen to while I drive.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why am I gonna get all crazy in this pit when I really just
Yeah.
want to drive and listen to the music?
Yeah.
You know.
So
Everyone
needless
has
to
their-
So
say,
I get
didn't
right
get
up
to
by
see
the
Wu-Tang.
speaker and I just sit there and watch, and then everyone's like bouncing into me, and occasionally I just fucking elbow somebody.
Yeah.
You know, but I never got in the pit. Well, if you want, you know,
I-
for a minute, you know, you get in there.
I
and you're
feel like a nice little two-step.
Yeah.
Little arm.
Yeah.
Little roundhouse.
I never actually like willingly went in a mosh pit at a concert. The only time I ever actually did any moshing was at like a school dance.
Oh, really?
That's how.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
You
dude,
went to
I do
Catholic
not
school.
like.
What were you playing?
Getting-
What were they playing at the school dance to make you mosh
Dude,
pit?
okay, so
Johnny Be Good.
smells like Teen Spirit and
Really?
Group Assault and like shit that was like kind of
Group
on
Assault,
that
nice.
edge. Especially growing up in a small town, like everybody thought that was like heavy music, you know. And I was like, okay, it's aggressive and whatnot. It's loud, but it's not metal. Like
Yeah.
I'd want to get in there and be like, hey, can we play some Cannibal Corpse, like Virgin, entrails ripped from the Virgin's cunt? And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not gonna fly at a school
Hey
function.
guys,
I'm like,
Jesus
all right.
built my hot rod. And then just,
There you go.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ministry. I went to I saw Ministry.
Yeah, I
in
saw
concert.
Ministry a couple years
That
ago.
was fucking
Yeah, they were
crazy,
good.
dude.
I just like enjoying the shows, though. I just want to sit
Yeah.
back and
Right.
watch. I can watch the chaos. I'm
That's
fine
what I
with
saw. It
it.
was Ministry and Pantera.
You know what was fucked up? Like
The
at my
whitest
school
of white
dance,
people.
they played Pumped Up Kicks, and
I
if
love
you
that song.
Ooh.
yeah, do you see how bad taste that is?
Yeah,
You know what that song's about, right?
it's
Yeah.
about school shootings.
Yeah, it's about a school
Yeah.
shooting. It was about Columbine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, they played it in our school dance. Like what the fuck? Like thanks
Well, they
to
don't
kill
know,
that mood.
man. People
Well,
don't
they
know.
thought it was a bop.
Yeah,
A
they
They're
bop.
did.
like, oh, it's catchy.
Oh,
Hey,
the Pumped
what are
Up
the kids
Kicks.
listening to these days?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no.
Death in our
Mhm.
schools,
Yeah,
shooting people in the hallways.
Yeah. no.
So I didn't get to see Wu-Tang. It sucked. I was
Yeah.
so pissed.
I didn't even see, you sent me that list. They weren't even on the list you sent me.
No, they were called the Legends of Wu-Tang. It was Method Man, Redman, Ghostface Killah, Raekwon,
What were they playing?
and one of the other ones. And it was in Orlando. Luckily, we were only going Saturday and Sunday, and it was
Did you already pay for
Thursday,
those
Friday.
tickets?
Yeah, and so that's the best part is, so after they canceled the show, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the hell? So they sent the next day. They're like, oh, we're gonna let you know about refunds and whatever. So they send me a form, and it says, click the link if you want a refund of your money, and click this link if you want tickets for next year. I'm like, yeah, I want tickets for next year. So
Yeah.
I click the refund thing, and they say the form will be active till November 1st. So you got to fill it out before November 1st, and then you will get your money 14 days after the deadline. So I got to wait till the middle of November to get a refund.
Yeah, because they probably spent that money on it.
Unbelievable. And I started thinking, I'm like, all right, so the tickets were like $100 per day, and say you had 50,000 people. That's $5 million that they're holding.
They're not though, because you have to give an advance to the bands for sure.
Right.
And the venue.
Yeah, for sure they gave money already to like WuTang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those guys got 50 grand easy without even showing up.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I said, in the venue.
I had to do that shit with Hank, man. We paid fucking Luke Goss 60 grand ahead of time. He never even fucking stepped foot on set.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of just to get them booked for the show, you have to put like a deposit fee on it. Oh, and
My
then their
official
agent.
statement to Luke Goss.
So apparently
Suck a dick.
apparently it was the fairgrounds that shut them down. Like they were fighting with them to not shut the concert down.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like 6 stages, and the night before Thursday, they had performed on one of the other stages. So they were gonna like rearrange the sets and put them on different stages and stuff. And the fairgrounds was like, nope.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. I was so
Old white
pissed
people
off.
running the fairgrounds.
What?
I don't know. That's what I feel like. Old white people run the fairgrounds, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
They just ruined everything.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Do you think they would have canceled a
Yeah, white
Reba
people.
McEntire concert?
McIntyre or McGraw?
McGraw,
Right.
Brooks and Dunn.
So,
I'm gonna boot scoot and boogie my fucking way out of here.
Jeremy, what are you working on now?
I know. Glad we got to talk about your movie.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
Jesus, we didn't even talk about him.
This
All
has
right,
been the most political
20
show
minutes
we've
just
ever
for
had.
you,
I've been having
sir.
a blast, man.
Like I said, it
No.
goes wherever it goes.
That's what I say about my penis.
No, right now I'm in, like I said, I'm in pre-production on an action movie called Hellfire. We start filming in mid-January, actually on Carpenter's birthday because it's important to me.
Awesome.
And
I love the
we're-
Carpenters.
Oh yeah, I'm
Karen
a huge
Carpenter, great
Karen
one.
Carpenter fan. Yeah, like why do birds suddenly appear every time you? Yeah. Yeah, we're in pre-production on that right now. I'm actually doing the scheduling and having to do the square pegs and round holes,
Nice.
trying to fit the Tetris pieces together. And
Oh yeah.
you
What's
know,
your? Can you discuss your budget for this?
micro? I mean, we raised.
What's the action part of it?
Yeah, we raised about 30 on Indiegogo, which after fees and everything, it's there's a chunk
27.
taken out of that.
Yeah.
It's like 20 when all is said and done, and then I'm putting in some money, and we've got some private investors putting in a little stuff, and yeah, we're starting filming in January.
Are you gonna have Joel Wynkoop as your star?
No, well, you know what? He and I have talked about doing some stuff, but we haven't actually settled on anything yet. But we got Ronnie Jonah, Jason Crow, Kate Phoenix, who I'm sure you guys are familiar with.
I don't know any of these people.
Yep.
Florida.
I don't know any of these people. Who are these people?
Well, we have
Kate
the
Phoenix was in
Scream
the
Queen
Cannibal
legend
Cameras.
herself, Frank Stevens, coming in to do a couple of days
Who?
on our little Brink Stevens,
Oh yeah, I know Brink.
huge Scream Queen nerd, of course.
Yeah, I
Alice Winkler just joined the cast as well. She's from like Space Babes from Outer Space, and Scott Shermer's the Bad Man, and she's we've got a lot of indie
Scott Shermer's
kind
going
of
to be in it?
stalwarts. No, actually, I don't. What is Scott doing these days? Because
I don't know.
I see him pop up on Facebook every now and then, but he hasn't made a movie since The Bad Man, I think, which was like 2018.
Fucking Found, man.
Yeah, dude, Found is so
That movie
good.
is so
Actually,
good.
for me, my favorite Scott Shermer film is Harvest Lake.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Jason.
a little too weird for me. Like some of his
You know what?
movies get a little
It's
odd.
funny.
I'm just kinda
You
like-
think being a sleaze fan that Space Babes from Outer Space would be like my favorite of what those guys have put out, but Harvest Lake is, I just think, fucking great. I mean, Ellie Church in it, Jason Crow, Tristan Risk. I love that weird Lovecraftian.
Right.
Plus, it's like super fucking sexual and
Yeah.
and
See, I'm not-
like
that's
uncomfortably
out of my-
sexual.
That's out of my range
He
there.
doesn't like sex.
Yeah.
I'm very simple. I need simple plots. Like I can't
know,
like
I kind of range all over the place. Like I love the artsy fartsy stuff, but I also love
Yeah.
like Andy Sedaris films. Like Hard Ticket to Hawaii is one of my favorites.
You
know,
keep saying Andy Sedaris, and I think of Jason Sudeikis, and then I
Yeah.
think of Sedaris, who's the author.
Oh
So,
yeah.
anyway,
dude, I'm
sorry.
all about Andy Sedaris though, man.
I don't
Like
even know who that is. I feel like I don't know fuck anything.
Dude, Andy Sedaris did Hard Ticket to Hawaii. He did the 12 Lethal Ladies films, as they call them. They were like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, see, I feel like I'm so
softcore
out of the,
Playboy
indie.
playmates. Like Julie Strain was in a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
Like that was the shit that I rented. Like that stuff and like, super low budget slasher films and whatnot. Like those were the two genres that I kind of cut my teeth on, was the action exploitation films like Andy Sedaris and then slasher movies, super low budget cheesy horror. And so we're just kind of combining, it's a very splattery, action packed, very 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 fucking sleazy film. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, you said
The original
Sean
script,
Donahue
Yeah.
wrote it or
So
something,
you
right?
said Sean.
Well,
I was
yeah.
like, oh.
Sean came up with the original story, and Andrew Allen
Wrote the script.
wrote the screenplay, and then Sean took one look at it and was like, "Dude, this is way bigger than what we're used to. So let's get somebody who really wants to kind of like sink their teeth into something and go and raise the money for it." And so I got I optioned the script about a year ago and kind of did my own pass on it. Change some stuff because of like locations and reduce some of the characters and combine characters and stuff. And so it's still very much the same story. It's still very much Sean and Andrew's story, but I just kind of did it to where, the stuff that I can get access to.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's very sleazy. I toned it down a tiny.
Sean had an
bit.
idea for a sleazy movie.
No
What?
way.
I know, right?
Does he have any other kind of movie?
The king of sleaze.
No. Well, and it's funny because like that, like Gator Blade Films is like one of my favorite, indie imprints. Like the Desperate Service movies and Delta Die and or not Delta Die. That's a
Die
Frank
Delta Pi.
Stevens, Tiffany Shippers. Yeah, Die Delta Pi is the Sean Donahue one.
Yeah.
But
It's always
kind
Sean
of really
Donahue.
like,
It's never Sean Donahue and Chris Lato. It's always
Who's Chris
it's
Lato?
a Sean Donahue film.
Who's Chris Lato?
Yeah.
I know. I have no fucking part of any of it.
Yeah.
I'm actually the one that does all the fucking work. I'm the one that shoots
oh
it,
really?
edits it,
Okay.
cast it, and then he gets all the credit.
Hey, Chris, what's
It's
with
fucking hilarious.
Chris, what's with all this
Well,
me shit?
It comes down to the what is the
Now you
credit
know how I
say?
feel
He's
about
the
100
brand.
Tears. Now you
He's
know
the
how I
brand.
feel about 100 Tears.
Sean's
Because
the
someone
brand.
else gets all the credit for it, yet I did all the work.
Yeah.
Sean's the brand. I do all the work.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
all
I
he
did
does
all
is
the work.
all
And
he
the
does
proof-
is show
to-
up.
To me, the proof is in the pudding.
I like pudding.
Those who continue to work and those who do not continue to work. It shows you
Yeah.
that like what you like all the work that you did, me specifically 100 Tears, and now that I continue to do all of the work, I'm still making movies.
Hey, I'm gonna
Right,
remember
yeah.
that when I start shooting shooting for you.
Yeah.
I'll remember this
I'll do all
conversation
the work again.
while I'm shooting it.
I'll be acting in it.
Uh-huh.
It's my show. Do you watch 30 Rock? I feel like
It's
what's
been
her
a while.
name now?
Yeah,
The blonde
Never
hair
watched
girl.
it.
yeah.
It's the
Oh.
blonde hair girl. Jane Krasinski's character.
Did you see Naked Cannibal Campers, Jeremy?
Yes, I did. Actually, that's one of my favorites of the whole Gator Blade.
You know the guy sitting on with the black hat over there and the blue shirt is the one
Yeah.
that got his head cut off at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony.
yeah.
I wasn't in it.
I was surrounded
They
by
don't call me.
boobs.
We said, all right, Tony, put your head right here. And
Yep.
Sushi's
Yeah.
gonna crouch down
Right
naked
on
over
you.
your face.
And my hand is actually in. If you look, my hand is like right, like almost
In her
fisting her.
crotch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And then Sushi takes the
Congratulations.
cleaver and whack.
yes.
And Tony's head's been in 2 other movies, and it's going to be in
No.
it
Well,
was
one
gonna
other
be in-
movie.
You were in Zed's Dead.
Yeah, that's one other movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Naked Cannibal Campers and Zed's Dead. That's another, well, you were going to be
Yeah.
in Naked Cannibal Campers too,
Dude,
but
well, my head.
Yeah.
that's not happening now. So
Yeah.
Well, my head was going to be in it.
You guys,
Which is such
you
a
guys,
bummer, man,
you
'cause-
guys. I really feel that one was kind of whined off of Facebook. I feel like all that happened with that was it didn't meet its goal within like the first day, and then it just became a fucking complaint department.
a complaint department? What do
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah. Well, my personal opinion is that someone complained way too much at the very beginning, and it lost its fire because they couldn't stop bitching about how it wasn't doing great.
Who was that? Me?
No.
Sean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was like,
Well,
thought we were going to do it. It's only got 3 weeks left, and it's just never going to happen. And it's like, dude,
Sean
stop fucking talking like that.
Sean
dude.
is
just
very
let
negative.
it do its thing, man.
Sean's very negative about
Stop
everything.
fucking
I try to
bitching about it.
I try to get him out of that, but he's a negative Nancy, and he
I
knows
think
he is.
that's something that people don't
knows
really
he is.
address too with indie filmmakers, because you have to stay
Yeah.
behind your project, even if it's not going the way you want it.
And here's the thing: I don't.
He
You
bitches
just
too much.
have to stay
Sorry,
positive,
Sean.
man.
Sean,
Sorry, buddy.
I don't. Sean wasn't. Sean's kind of wanting to dip away a little bit and not make stuff because he's just frustrated with everything.
Yeah.
And
He should probably take a break, man.
He's in
had a
school
lot of
and he's trying to finish school and doing all this other stuff. And I'm like at a point where I'm wanting to make stuff.
Yeah.
And
Man,
so I'm trying to like kick
he
him
doesn't
in
have
the
any
ass.
kids, right?
Yeah.
No.
Dog.
Okay, I got
No
3
girlfriend,
kids.
no kids, nothing.
I got 3
You got a dog.
kids. I got 1 on the way, and I bust my ass every day to raise money to make my movies. I don't want to
There you
hear
go.
about it. I'd love to not.
Right.
No, let me take this. Let me stop right there. I'm just
And
gonna
he
stop.
did.
Right there.
And he did. And he did. I was like, you know, we're trying to like fund a new movie, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, no, what I was saying is I'd love to just be me and sit around all day and only have time to do that shit.
Yeah.
Instead, I gotta wake up at fucking 5, get my kid up, get him off to high school.
Yeah.
Then I gotta get my daughters off to elementary school. Then I get to come home and get to do all my shit until it's time to go get them or whatever the fuck I have to do. The point is that you have to take it all in stride. You can't bitch about what's not succeeding. Because it's only going to make everyone else who sees you bitching about it just not want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
You have to talk that shit up. Even if it's failing, you have to talk it up. Because you don't know the last second someone might be like, yeah, dude, this really does look like a good idea. Let me throw fucking 10 grand at this thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Instead of like, oh, this guy just bitches about everything.
A big part of the problem was we got.
And you know that's going to overflow onto set.
Right. The thing is like we know that we can make.
She heard me.
We know we can make $6,000 on our Indiegogo, like with our eyes closed. And we attached Felissa Rose on the project to be, and we were going to make it for 10 grand. And we thought having her on board with her following would help us reach our goal. And unfortunately,
and I'm sure it gave it a bump.
No,
but it wasn't.
It didn't.
Enough.
Unfortunately, she kind of vanished and didn't really promote it at all. And it was disappointing.
Right now too.
It was disappointing for us.
Yeah.
You know, we thought we had a really cool script and an idea, and we had some new girls, and you know, we were pretty excited to make it, and then it just didn't happen. And
well, yeah, I know Kate Phoenix and I. You've had her on the show, right?
No,
Kate?
she hasn't been on the show yet.
No, we haven't had Kate.
We had we had
Kate's
Sushi and
awesome.
Indica on the show.
Well, Kate and I were talking a bit about it, you know, and she was like really fucking bummed because, you know, she loves working with Sean and you guys, and you know, so she was like,
fun,
yeah,
man.
it sucks that it's not hitting its goal. And I guess, you know, she saw what we were able to do with Hellfire and say like, you know, well, how did you do it? And I'm like, well, I kind of you gotta hustle. You got to be a salesman. You have got to be on constantly. And I'll admit, like, it fucking drained me to constantly be going on Facebook. And you also have to be very strategic with it too. Like, you can't just go and post 300 times a day because Facebook will actually fuck with your algorithm.
Right.
You have to post like once and be very targeted with your words and talk about free stuff and this, that, and the other. And you know, Sean, when we launched the Hellfire campaign, he called me up. It's like, how are you able to do this, you know, so quickly? And I'm like, look, I have my goal in mind, and I know what we're putting out publicly, and what we're putting out publicly is actually way less than I want. And that actually helped us out because we hit that goal even quicker, and that put us in front of a lot more people on Indiegogo and in their newsletter and all that sort of stuff. So we started getting traction. I mean, we had a lot of people that had nothing to do with us on Facebook that saw us just on the Indiegogo, and they were like, you know what, I'll take a chance. Here's $50, $100, whatever. And then you just keep rolling that on. Then you go back to people that jumped on quicker and you say, hey, you know, I've got this perk that I'm not releasing publicly. Like, do you want first crack at it?
Right.
You know, and they're like, oh yeah, sure. I'll go back to the coffer and put a little more money in, you know, and you you've got to be a used car salesman. I mean, there's a
Right.
part of me that feels a bit dirty about doing that, but if you're not willing to sacrifice everything for your projects, what are you doing it for, right? Like, you have got to be out there and hitting those bricks, and you got to shake the babies and kiss the hands,
Right.
you know, as I like to say. You literally take those babies and just fucking shake
Till
the
the
shit
money
out of them.
falls out.
Yeah, exactly. They're like a pinata, right?
Yeah.
You just smack them
Right.
until, yeah.
And back to the point, like Sean gets all the credit, so he's the brand, and he's got the following, and he's got all the fans that donate the money to every Indiegogo we do, and I'm terrible at that. I'm terrible at raising money. I'm good at going to a person like a doctor and say, hey, I'm making a movie. Would you like to invest? Blah, blah, blah. And then they give me money. I'm okay at that.
See, I
but
suck
like
at that stuff.
Doing Indiegogos and shit, I'm terrible. Like, I don't like posting shit. I don't like messaging people all the time. Like, it's just annoying to me. So, you know, our problem is Sean has a fan base of X amount of people, and we're trying to expand that fan base from 500 people to like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Because there's an interest in that type of movie that he makes.
Yeah.
And you know, we're
Well, that's why I wanted to jump on
We need
Hellfire.
to tap that. Like, we need.
That's why I wanted to jump on Hellfire, because Sean was like, "Look, what I see for this film is bigger than what we typically do." And I said, "Well, I have a little bit of a name, and it's a minor name. I know that, but I wanted to tap into that Gator Blade fan base and also my fan base and expand the both of them so that we can actually elevate each other's brands.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because Sean has got the self-distribution thing down pat, and that's something that I'm still learning. You know, so I'm like, okay, if I can kind of get in with Sean and we can make a movie together, and then we can kind of both pump up with what Sean knows and with what I know, we can, you know, elevate First Week of Winter as well as Gator Blade. And so that's why I was really excited to jump on Hellfire, because I mean, quite frankly, with what we've raised, you know, on Hellfire so far, I could have gone and done my own movie, but I would not have the backing of the Gator Blade name, and I wouldn't have that fan base that I can kind of cater to, but also broaden that audience.
Right.
You know,
Jeremy,
so
where are you? Are you in Texas?
Yes, I'm just about an hour north of Houston, a tiny little pissant town.
Yeah.
I call myself a Houston filmmaker, but the Houston press,
They won't
you
have
know,
you.
not the actual paper Houston press, but the Houston, you know, press junkets, whatever. They don't want to consider me a Houston filmmaker because I don't actually live in Houston.
Do you think it's because you don't live in Houston, or because of the content?
Well, because we
Or
made
both.
Sweatshop in Houston, and it was the same kind of deal. But everybody was proud to say that Sweatshop was a Houston film, and that, you know, Mel House, you know, is a Houston filmmaker, and Josh Vargas, and all of these guys make similar content.
Is Mel House still making movies?
Yeah, he and I are no longer affiliated with one another, but he just made a film called Mystery Spot that had its premiere at Fright Fest, I think, over in England. Like, I kind of keep tabs on a few of those guys, but we really don't run in the same circles anymore. You know, I mean, we're all working on our own projects at this point, and but yeah, Houston, for whatever reason, I'm kind of like the bastard child. Like, I make my movies in Houston because
Welcome to Tampa.
yeah,
That's how I feel.
Right?
That's how I feel here,
Yeah.
man. I feel like no one, like, as hard as I work, I feel like I'm still not accepted in the circles by anyone.
And you know what? And I'm fine with not being accepted, because the way the philosophy I have about it is, okay, you guys go have your playground, or you guys have your little sandbox. I want the fucking playground. You know, like, I have bigger aspirations than just being a Houston filmmaker, and that's why the Gator Blade thing was so attractive to me, because, you know, I wanted to make a Gator Blade film before Hellfire came along. I've got this script that I've been wanting to do for a while called Cannibal Call Girls from Hell, and the idea was to go and make, you know, take 6 days and 4 or 5 people and a couple grand, and just make this really sleazy, cheesy movie. And then I was going to go to Sean and be like, hey, I've got this film, because he had contacted me years ago about distribution for Pickaxe, and we just never worked a deal. I mean, part of the thing was Pickaxe was a very large budget compared to what we're doing with Hellfire, and even that Pickaxe was not a huge budgeted film. But I said, well, okay, this is my opportunity to take my brand and expand beyond the borders of just being a Texas or a Houston-based filmmaker. I mean, I'm still shooting everything here, with mostly within a couple hour radius of Houston. But yeah, I still call myself a Texploitation flick maker because I am Texas born, Texas bred. God damn it, I'll be Texas dead. But I don't really want to pigeonhole myself and say I am strictly this area.
Yeah.
I'll make my movies here, but I have designs on all these different, places. And that was one reason why I went to Tampa Bay Screams when COVID was kind of starting to dissipate and everything. Like I went and no one knew my brand. No one knew First Week of Winter Films. And I was like, well, that's why I'm doing this. Like I have these movies that I can sell that I've either worked on or directed or what have you. But it's important to get that word out because when Pickaxe first came out in 2019, the next thing I did was book myself at a show every single month of 2020, and we all know how that went.
Yeah.
So I was not able to go and capitalize on that. And then when Sean came to me in the summer of last year, I was like, you know what? This is my chance. Like if I can't go to all these different conventions and pimp my brand out, I need to team up with another brand and elevate the both of them. And so we film in January. It's the first time I'll actually be able to film almost completely straight for 3 weeks, taking time off from the day job and
What
going.
are you doing? Like 5 on and 2 off?
Yeah, I mean I think it's like 4 on, 1 off, and then 5 on, 2 off, and it's because some out of town actors are like, okay, I can really come in between Thursday and Tuesday, but I can't really do earlier.
Actors.
And
I hate scheduling actors, especially on a low budget, because you always run that percentage where they're not even going to show.
But yeah, I mean there is that.
Always have backups.
That's also why I went with people that I know work pretty consistently.
Yeah,
like
me
Jason
too.
Crow
That's what I try
Ronnie
to do.
Jones.
I try to use the same people I know are going to show up.
Right.
Know how to say their lines. And
we've got a lot of really cool local actors
shout out
here,
to Austin
but
Janowski.
but unfortunately, a lot of them do have the day job situation, of course. But if they don't have the day job, they may have problems with the content. Like when we were auditioning people for Pickaxe, there were times. I mean, there was a couple of scenes that actually didn't even make it in the movie. I flat out had people flat out refuse to even audition for it, not because of the sex or the nudity or the gore. There was literally a joke about incest in this one scene, and I got so many people saying, "Fuck you! I'll never audition for that."
It's called acting.
Jeez.
Right. Like, and it wasn't even like,
I'll fuck my sister if it's acting.
See, it was one of those situations where these two people were broke down.
Kidding, Judy, Marianne, Dixie, and Pam.
These two people were broke down on the side of the road, and they were near the woods, and they were like, well, we're not going anywhere tonight. Let's go out and fuck. So they go out and they fuck, and when they're done, he says something about like, if you didn't give head as good as mama, I would have left your ass, or some shit like that.
That's
like, well, if you weren't my brother,
That's what they wouldn't audition for.
Shelby
Everybody-
McIntyre would have fucking knocked that out of the park.
I know, but there was something about this pool of actors that they had a real problem with that
That's
type
Texas.
of line.
That happens. They've all said it probably in real life.
It's just everything, man. They're having a problem now. There's a petition going around that they want the new Halloween Michael Myers kills firefighters or something.
Yeah.
And they're wanting to have them cut that. I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
It's
a
Michael
movie.
fucking Myers.
It's a movie. He's not really killing firefighters.
Yeah, and
it's unbelievable how ridiculous.
I take a major fucking problem with it's the cancel culture thing again, right? It's like, okay, well, you can't have this pedophile character in this movie. It's like, well, wait a minute, I'm not supporting or endorsing pedophilia.
Right.
I'm writing a story about a horrible fucking character.
Right.
And also I think that's why I find it so funny when people love Devil's Rejects. And it's like, you do realize the heroes of the piece are actually the villains.
Right.
and vice versa, because these are despicable people doing despicable things, and you feel sorry for them, and that should make you feel dirty.
Right.
And that's the sign of a good story,
Yep.
because he made you empathize with the bad guys.
Yep.
Right. And that's, I think people have this fear that you're going, oh, like the Michael Myers thing, like, oh, well, he's killing firefighters, well, therefore the filmmakers must endorse
Right.
murdering
So
filmmakers.
stupid.
No, they're writing a story about a horrible fucking character doing horrible fucking things to innocent people.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
story. It's a horror movie, for fuck's sake.
And if they
Right.
don't like it, don't watch
Don't
it.
watch it. Exactly.
Don't
Exactly. Change the channel, like you were saying. earlier.
Exactly.
Change the fucking
Change
channel.
the channel.
Nobody's
Like-
making you watch this.
I just don't. I don't get it. Now people think are so self-involved that they're like, oh, I don't like that. Well, I don't watch that, so you know what? I'm gonna try to cancel it. Like what? Why? Other
Yeah.
people like it.
Yeah.
Other people like enjoy that
Because
type of
everybody's
cinema.
too worried about their
Well,
own opinion.
And people can't separate the art from the artist so many
Exactly.
times. Like
Right.
my very first film, my very first feature, I had a scene where a Baptist preacher was speaking about the evils of homosexuality. And that is not my take on it whatsoever.
Yeah.
That is what I grew up with, because I grew up in a small town where it was very religious. And if you were the other, you were somehow evil. You were possessed by the devil or whatever scapegoat they came up with at the time. And I had to explain to people, like, that's not my viewpoint. That's this very closed-minded character's viewpoint, and that's not someone to, to emulate. That is, I'm not endorsing what that person says or does in the slightest. But I am writing a story. I have to serve the story.
Yep.
And I'm writing a story about small town judgmental religious types.
Mhm.
So there's going to be those people in my story that are very homophobic and transphobic and, whatever the case may be. Meanwhile, they've got the skeletons in their closet as well, because I knew all those people were fucking hypocrites.
Yep.
But again, I had to write characters that did despicable things. That doesn't mean that I endorse that in the slightest.
Right.
Totally.
Welcome back, Joe.
Like, I had to piss so bad, dude. I drank an entire
Yeah.
thing of.
I'm feeling that too, actually.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh man.
felt so good though.
If you had a top 5 movies that you think that people have not seen, what would it be, Jeremy? Because I think we're going to bring back that series coming up. I think,
Top 5 movies that people haven't seen.
yeah,
Um,
movies that you know. Because I always name some
Just
that
obscure stuff.
that Chris doesn't like because he doesn't like that artsy fartsy stuff. But
Yeah.
he's always gives me like the clear cut. Oh, he's the killer. He kills that person.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
he likes that. Joe hasn't been involved in this one, but he will be in the next.
Well,
one.
for me, one movie that I always tell people, like, if they want to know my sensibilities,
Yeah.
is Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Like, that movie is so ridiculous and so cheesy and so really, like, badly acted and kind of badly directed, but there's a weird charm about it. I mean, the skateboard assassin scene alone, like, if you guys do not know Hard Ticket to Hawaii,
Yeah.
it is your mission
I'm gonna watch
to
it.
see it.
Where
It is there is
Nearby?
there's a giant python snake that has
can't watch it.
been
Can't watch it.
okay, it's a fake snake as fuck. It is a puppet, but
Still can't.
it is toxic because it's been infected by toxins from cancer infected rats.
Okay.
Okay.
How that makes any sense, I don't know.
Well,
But there's also a skateboard assassin scene where this dude is literally riding down the street on a skateboard with what looks like a BB gun, and it's actually like a snake gun. But he's holding an inflatable sex doll, and he fires at two of the heroes, who then take a fucking bazooka and hit him with their Jeep. He flies up in the air. They shoot him out of the air with the bazooka, and then turn around and shoot the inflatable doll. It is fucking bonkers. It is absolutely genius, and I tell everybody to watch it. And that is 100%
What's that called?
Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
And it's got 2 of the greatest theme songs of all time they both called Hard Ticket to Hawaii for whatever reason, but they're both very different.
Wow.
There's that. There's also another action movie that I just recently saw, and I know Kate saw it recently as well because we were just talking about it, called Champagne and Bullets. And I think Vinegar Syndrome put it out just recently, and it's one of these movies that was shot for like, I don't know, a nickel or something, and they had like Wings Hauser in it, and the other guy escapes me, but he's like one of the classic character actor villains who is, I think he was in Red Dawn, but it's like his name is like William Smith or something like that. But this movie is just so bad. I mean, the lead actor is the guy who wrote it and directed it, and he stars in it. But he's actually a lawyer, like a legitimate lawyer, and he took his own money and wanted to make this action movie.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And there's this
Sounds like The Room.
Oh God, yeah, it's about that bad.
Oh wow.
There's several songs on the soundtrack that this guy sings.
Oh my god.
And they're just really
That's
horribly
totally
bad.
different.
And there's these really long, awkward sex scenes involving ice cubes. And it's one of those films that you're like, I don't smoke weed, I don't drink anymore, or anything like that. But if I was drunk or stoned with a group of people, this is the type of movie that I would watch. And there's like 3 different cuts on the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray. And then there's a movie like Six String Samurai.
Yeah, of course.
Same sort of deal. Vinegar Syndrome, I think, put it out.
I saw that in the theater.
No shit, dude.
Yeah, down in Tampa Theater here. They played it for a weekend. Six String Samurai.
Nice.
God, it was fucking 10, 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Dude,
I had the poster.
I had never
poster,
seen
dude.
it. I had heard of it, and Kate messaged me one day like, please tell me you've got the new Six String Samurai. And I'm like, yeah, I just got it in the mail.
Yeah.
She's like, put it on tonight and watch it. And
It's amazing.
it is, yeah. I mean, again, it's one of those movies that they shot for nothing.
Yeah.
And it's got this weird cult status to it because it's just so fucking out there.
Well,
I mean, it's a post-apocalyptic dystopian.
post-apocalyptic.
But it's about a guy who's like a Buddy Holly impersonator,
Yeah.
or he thinks he's Buddy Holly, and he's also a samurai, and he's on his way
the desert
to
fighting midgets. Yeah, it's great.
yeah, he's on his way to Las
great.
Vegas because the king Elvis Presley has died, and he's on this journey to become the new king of Las Vegas. But they actually call it something different. It's not actually Las Vegas. It's
I don't remember.
Lost Vegas or something like that.
I don't remember. I just
And,
know that I loved his outfit because he's in the desert
Yes.
and he's wearing 2-tone wingtip dress shoes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And a suit.
And the gangs that he fights, like the I forget I don't know if they're called the 8 pins or whatever, but it's like these bowling gangs that it's just
I just remember there was
I
a
love
midget.
yes.
Yeah.
It's just I just love that
That's
kind
funny.
of weird.
It reminded me of like Elvis
Weird shit.
Costello, like meets like I don't know, like
yeah,
Cherry.
it's like a rockabilly
Style.
Western apocalyptic.
Yeah, it came out right
fucking
around the
weird
height
movie.
of like swing dancing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Again.
And then
The
like
resurgence of swing dancing.
for post-apocalyptic weird movies, like I love Hell Comes to Frogtown. Like I saw that
Oh yeah.
years ago on USA
Roddy
All
Piper.
Night, Up All Night. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, when I saw that for the very first time, I was like on a band trip in like 8th grade or something. And like me and a couple guys that we were rooming together, we were watching USA Up All Night, and Hell Comes to Frogtown comes on.
Who's the host?
I think it was Rhonda Shear at the time.
Yeah, she lives here.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, she has
Right
a
on.
studio at Clearwater, man. It's huge.
Nice.
Did you know that?
No.
Did I know it?
Yeah.
Dude, I miss Rhonda Shear. She
Oh,
was so
man.
fucking
No?
cool. Shit,
No.
man.
How-
Oh
no.
wow, dude. Yeah, I actually went over there a few times to help her do some because she does lingerie and stuff now, like her own
Yeah.
clothing brand.
Yeah.
And she wanted to do like a reminiscent USA Up All Night
Oh.
commercial series.
Nice.
And
Nice.
my friend Gene, who shoots all her stuff, he called me up and he's like, "Yo, you need to come over here and be a director with Rhonda Shear." And I was like, "Okay."
Holy shit, man.
I thought he meant come direct. No, what he meant was
yeah.
I need to come in, put on this big belly suit and a beret, and act like I'm an old school director who's directing
wow.
Rhonda Shear in like a USA Up All Night skit,
Nice.
which was way better.
Wow.
Yeah, so she
Dude.
still does that stuff here locally, man.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah, she's great. She's a little chunky now, but she still looks hot. I wouldn't kick her out of
I
bed.
mean, it's 30 plus years at this point, so
Yeah, well,
it gets us all.
I got plenty of.
Yeah, that I had a kind of a thing like when I was at Tampa Bay Screams, Lynn Lowry came up to my table and knew who the fuck I was. that was mind blowing. She's like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of Pickaxe and I know who you are," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "You're fucking Lynn Lowry, right?" Like, like,
Yeah,
and she like gives me her card. It's like, "Let's work together sometime." And I'm like, "All right, cool." I'll have to
I don't
try
have
and
any
find
money,
something
but
to talk.
okay.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's got to be experience.
Yeah, that was really fucking cool. Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Killer Collab Podcast. Jeremy Sumrall, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Hey,
you,
thank you
sir.
guys. This was a fucking blast, man.
That was
Seriously.
definitely fun. Definitely fun. Let us know if you ever want to come back.
Yeah,
Dude,
let us know
anytime.
when you're in town shooting that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you on
come
that
in the
show.
studio.
Yeah.
I will definitely be in Tampa for Tampa Bay Screams next summer when June or July or something. But I'm hoping to get out there before then because Kate keeps bugging me and is like, "Look, you got to come out to Disney and fucking Universal and shit." And
Oh
like,
yeah.
I've gone to Disney, but I was like a kid. And
Yeah.
I'd never have any fucking money for that.
None
And
of
she's
that
like,
interests
"Dude,
me.
come with me. Like, we get discounts because we're Florida residents."
I don't
I'm
want to
like,
walk around a hot.
Yeah.
theme
Well,
park.
Universal in January is wonderful.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, it's wonderful. Like it's perfect. It's 70 degrees and
All right.
less at night. It's like 65
Nice.
at night. It's perfect.
Well, you
That's
heard
my
that,
birthday.
Universal.
That's my birthday.
Sponsor us.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some commercials.
Tony's
on our
birthday
show.
is January.
January.
Like
Yeah.
a whole month.
Well, yeah.
His mom was
Yeah.
in labor for 30 days.
Yeah, mine's in November.
If you ever talk to her, she'll say something like that. I was in labor forever. But thank you for joining us this morning. Killer Collab Podcast, as always. Chris Lato on my left,
Thank you.
Joe Davison on my other left, and Jeremy Sumrall. Thank you for joining us on Killer Collab Podcast.
Thank you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.